Welcome back, everybody, to me talking about what I didn't do last week. Yes, that's right, we're back with another weekly navel-gazing session, and I'll talk about what I planned to do, what I did do, what I didn't do, what I plan to do now, and so forth. So, let's get started, shall we? Why, cheers. All right. So, let's talk about what I read last week to start with. And I did read a couple of books, actually. So there's that. In fact, I did read nonfiction. I read Julian James's the, the origins of consciousness in the breakdown of the bicameral mind, which is a really cool book. About how consciousness might have actually developed. I'm not sure if it's true or not. I'm not a scientist in those areas, at least, so doubts are in order. But what it has done is inspired a lot of authors. And I think it's important to understand that, and there's an idea for a video in there somewhere. And it certainly has inspired Neil Stephenson to write Snow Crash, and it has very much inspired Stephen Erickson to write stuff, or not to write stuff, but to integrate those things into his works, and that's pretty cool. And I'm also almost 100% sure that it inspired Terry Pratchett to write, or for to put some specific elements into Small Gods. So there's that, and that was really fun to read, and I'm not sure if I will make a video talking about that. Let me know if you want me to actually talk about specific nonfiction books. I'm kind of careful there and undecided, but let me know. It was certainly fun to read, and it's, fascinating. And then I went and read The Dawn of Everything by David Graeber and David Wengrow, which is a book about prehistory and all kinds of other things. And it's one that Stephen Erickson has recommended, and I can certainly see why. It does dovetail neatly with some of the ideas that he has explored in his books. And it's just like an interesting look at like different ways civilization, if you want to call it civilization, how we as humans organize our social lives in the past, how we organize our societies, and to just, show up that the situation we're in right now is not like a logical thing. It's not inescapable. We ended up in the situation that we're in right now for all kinds of reasons, but there have always been alternatives, and this is like a really important step there, to point that out and to make clear that this is not inevitable, and we can actually possibly change the way we do things, because, we probably should. So that's what I read last week, and then I reread Jingo by Terry Pratchett again for like our Discworld talk, which didn't happen for all kinds of reasons, so this one is postponed. We will see until how long. So if you want to join a Discworld read-along, you get more time now. And Jingo is book 21 in publication order, and it's a lot of fun. So that's something I read, and then I started The King of Elfland's Daughter by Lord Dunsany, and I'm almost, more than halfway through that one. I'll probably finish it today, because it's not that long, really. And, yeah, that's sort of what I read last week. So a lot of reading happened, actually, which is pretty neat. There's a dark side to that, and we'll get to that later on, but, at least that happened. So, let's talk about the videos, shall we? Well, there were none. It's pretty simple. So I tried to record a video on Rejoice, and for one reason or another, I wasn't really happy with it, so that's why it's not up yet. Maybe I'll try to re-record it today to make my points more clearly and see if that works out. We will see. But yeah, it's sort of, I didn't actually get to do much. I didn't feel that well about a lot of things, so that was that. However, I was on Chatting with Nuts on Saturday with Jimmy Nuts, and that was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed that. I hope those of you who actually watched enjoyed that too. It seems to have brought a couple of new people over here to my channel, which, welcome. I'm glad you made it. I hope you stick around and don't get bored or annoyed by me too quickly. So there's that. And if you haven't watched that live chat, it is it is still up. So go and watch it. It's interesting. I talk about a lot of stuff, and I like to talk basically. So there's that. So let's look at the things that are planned for like next week or this week. So this week will be kind of tough because I will be going to another festival. I'm going to Summer Breeze Open Air tomorrow with like a lot of friends. It's not my favorite festival. It's a weird festival, but I'll be going there, so that will restrict both my reading and obviously my ability to make videos. So I plan to finish, as I said, King of Elfland's Daughter. I'll do a reread of Shadow Games for our ongoing Black Company read-along. And I'll most likely start rereading in my case, Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. We'll see how far I will get to that with that, because not the best of reading times, those festivals, or at least not the best of reading times. So I guess I'll be lucky if I finish Shadow Games and start Assassin's Apprentice. We will see. So that's sort of what I plan to read. Videos, so it kind of depends on how many videos I'll make today. If I can sit down, concentrate enough to make a video or two, I'll try to, edit them and render them overnight and upload them tomorrow morning before I leave for the festival. And then I can, ideally, if I have enough, phone connection on that festival, which is kind of hard, I'll probably be able to, publish them over the week, and I'll try to do that. We will see. It's still up in the air. There's things I want to talk about, of course. There is the idea of making that Rejoice video. And I've had like a more like general thing that I want to talk about, like how BookTube or like book influencing has become something of a performance thing, and how that has certain negative sides to it. I'm not quite sure if I'm already there mentally and can like actually turn this into like a coherent thing that is not just me spouting some anti-capitalist platitudes, which I do all the time. So we will see if I manage to do that. That's sort of like the rough ideas, unless I have like a spark of inspiration later today. We will see. So that's the videos that I plan to do. Obviously, I planned to do the Discworld video on Jingo. That was sort of my plan until we postponed the meeting yesterday. Yeah, of course, I can just like sit down and make a video on Jingo right now. I read the book like 10 times at this point, but I like to do those after we had the group discussion, so that's why it's postponed until like next week probably. So we will see. I still need to finish that long video that I've been talking about so much. Yeah, I don't know. That's sort of where we are with me and having problems. Because see, I've been working so long on that like longer video that I feel like I've sort of lost the spark, the enthusiasm. So that it's like 3-4, I don't know, sort of like 70% done, or like recorded at least 70%. And I'm like, I don't know if I should still make this, if I'm still. Maybe I've forgotten the point. Maybe I've lost the point of this. I don't know. And I hope that like thinking a bit more about it, and maybe having some conversations at the festival, whatever, will sort of bring back the fire, bring back the spark to actually finish that whole video. I do hope so, because I still think it's relevant, and I still think there's something to it that makes a lot of sense to do. I just need to get back that enthusiasm, because I feel that if I don't have that, and if I don't have the passion, I would just like sit down and do something really well planned and whatnot. It just doesn't work for me, if you know what I mean. So that's my hope, that I will rekindle that energy for that video. And that's sort of been part of the reason why last week was so hard or so weird. It's like I fell into like a deeper depression than normally, and in those situations I usually just like retreat into reading and reading and reading, which is why I got those pretty long nonfiction books done relatively quickly and all that. And I thought a lot about the things that I read there, and it was great. And then I kind of didn't actually get off my arse to actually record any videos or do anything else, which is a huge problem. I'm trying to get as much done as possible today before I leave, because at the festival it will be hard to do anything productive at a festival, because, bands, alcohol, little sleep, very bad phone connection, doing like long things on a phone always sucks, yeah. So I try to actually get stuff done today and find a way back into being less of a wreck, basically. I've just like literally done nothing but drink tea and read books for like a week, which is great, right? It sounds perfect. I'm not saying it wasn't like in that regard really rewarding. It absolutely was, but you know, that's something of a luxury that I can't afford right now, because I need to actually make some money and rely on, figure out a way to actually finance my very poor lifestyle. And no, I'm not saying go sub to my Patreon. I mean, yeah, do, but please be. I don't know if I really want that. I was thinking about like other ideas in that regard, to maybe combine the thing a bit more with the record label and do something of like a subscription model, where you can basically pay a fixed amount of money per month, and I'll send you one CD that I believe is important for like classic heavy metal or whatever. And you have to live with that. But that's something that I don't know if I really want to do that or not. As I said, I'm thinking about a lot of things. I'm just not acting on them, and that's sort of the difficulty there, because there's a lot of self-sabotage going on with me all the time. I'm like, yeah, committing on to things is hard for me, right? Which is like why I haven't actually gone and finished any of those like job things that I tried to, like, writing copywriting for like stuff. Yeah, I need to actually, hand in that like one like example text. Yeah, I could just write that thing. Trust me, I can. But I can't. That's the point. It's like, because at that moment when I write that thing and I hand it in, there's that fear that it will be, not good enough. And while that fear is irrational, it is still there. And as long as I actually don't do that, there's always, that, yeah, that bit. And the same with like actually getting some sort of tutoring job. It's like, yeah, I just need to finish one thing and then we're good. But yeah, no. You know what I mean? I need to find a way around that, and I'm not quite sure how to do that. Maybe I actually need to actually find some sort of external help to get me back on track. And I don't know. It's all weird and it's all messed up, and I'm trying to figure out a way to do that. I just know that just sitting there and reading books, while pleasant in a lot of ways and making me possibly slightly less dumb, doesn't put food on the table. Know what I mean? So I need to figure out a way to do that. We will see. But yeah, apart from that, I'll go to that festival. It's one where I go with like a large group of friends. We usually just go to that one festival, even though some of the bands that I'll see there are probably not my favorite kind of bands. It's nice to actually hang out with people that you don't see that often. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. We will see. If you happen to be at Summer Breeze Open Air, then I don't know. Say so in the comments or whatever, and we can meet for like a drink. That will be possible, I hope. We'll see. So that's sort of where I am this week, which is in a weird like state between like I really need to get my shit together. And yeah, I don't have time for that because I'll be, going to another festival, because I'm still using up all those tickets I bought way back before a certain plague hit humanity. And that's sort of all for this week. I'll try to do some stuff. I really want to do more like collab things again in the future, because yeah, talking with Jimmy was a lot of fun. I might actually, if I ever reach those 1,000 subscribers, which is possible, I will probably do like a live stream on my own. We'll see how that goes. But until then, I'll try to maybe get like some more collab things happening in the near future, because I think there's something in collabs that works really well for me, and we will see if I can actually get far enough out of my personal shell to actually contact people and talk to people, which is kind of hard, but we'll see. Anyway, I hope you've had like a great week. You read some really good books. I hope you are reading some really good, cool books for this week, and I hope you have great plans for this week, and things to look forward to, and like having a great week, I guess. And yeah, at the latest, I'll be back on Monday with like, I don't know, me excusing myself for not having done anything. We will see. And until then, cheers.